Many of us aged 50 or older today, born before 1960, do not need the statistics to convince us about the Singapore story. And I know that there are many MPs here. I've heard your stories that you shared across the years. Because we experienced this rising tide firsthand. My parents had 6 children. My first recollection of my first home as a young boy was at a rental flat in Zion Road. We shared it with tenants of other families. It never occurred to me that I was poor then, or that it was not the norm to share abodes. This rental flat overlooked the Alexandra Canal. But this canal was a far cry from what it is today after MEWR's ABC waters. We had the ABC Mark I, active but be careful because you could fall in the longkang. The canal flooded often, to the delight of the kids there, because every time it rained, it flooded. That was playtime. I can still remember in my oral memories, my mother's clarion warning to be careful lest we got swept away by the currents. Lum zai si. It was in vernacular. Upgrading meant moving to a 3-room flat in Queenstown. But this time we did not have to share and we could own it. But there were still hard times with bills unpaid, and my mother had to do odd jobs, sewing, cooking at home to earn extra income. I'm thankful that my parents believed in good education for me and my siblings because that changed our lives. I'm also grateful that I could become a doctor after studying at NUS, the National University of Singapore. I know it was heavily subsidized because my family could have never afforded the full cost. And later, a government scholarship allowed me to train in the United States as a cancer surgeon. It was this unique meritocratic Singapore system, which many members have spoken, including Josephine, Halimah Yaakob. This massive rising tide that lifted a boy from a 3-room flat in Queenstown to top cancer centers in the US. Today, I'm able to provide my children with a quality of life far better than I could have ever imagined growing up. I consider myself blessed, but my story is not unusual in Singapore. Many of my old friends who grew up with me in the same HDB neighborhood, I remember taking bus with them to school, and when I meet them nowadays, I see how much they have risen in life. I meet them and many Singaporeans who share similar success stories, and I know that many MPs here know of them. I believe deeply that the same Singapore story can and must be written for every new generation. I know I'm not alone in this belief because many MPs too spoke impassionedly about rewriting the Singapore story for every generation. Indeed, Singapore must always be a land of opportunity and a hope for all Singaporeans.